What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a review for Life After Lockup. This is going to be season 3. This is episode number 20, and the episode was titled, what was the episode titled, you guys? Lame Sex or Psycho? All right, you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode review. Now, the one thing that I do want to say before we get into this episode is I have a product that I'm going to be doing a review over, and also in the next few videos, I'm gonna try to make a little bit of a little snippet, like maybe a little bit of a commercial, if you will, for the product that I have. It's from a company called, let's see what the name of this thing is called, Everlasting Comfort. So they have, they reached out to me in my email for my YouTube channel, and they had, saw my channel, they saw everything, and they just wanted me to pick a product. They sent me the money to my PayPal, and they sent me a list of items that I could choose from, and I chose one, told them how much it cost. They sent me the money to my PayPal, and I bought it. And this that I have is it's a footrest pillow, really plush, very cool. But like I said, I'm gonna do a review on it, and I do have in the review video, I have a 10% code where you guys can go purchase it. They have like office supply stuff, but we'll talk about it in the review. But let's go ahead and just jump to this episode, shall we? All right, you guys. So let's start up with Lindsay and Scott. So you guys know Lindsay is upset with Scott because he's been going through her stuff, and then we found out in last week's episode that he reached out to her ex-boyfriend of 6 years. And she read some of the text messages that, Scott said to the man. So Scott asked her, was the sex lame, or was she just a psycho? And I was like, damn, Scott, is that what you really think about the girl? That you have moved to Mississippi for, you got a house for, you moving her and her daughter into your house, and you think she's either the sex is lame or she's a psycho? Okay. I guess if you say so. If you say so. So then he also said to the ex that, it's like a bus. You miss one, you can catch another one. And I'm like, huh? That I didn't understand. Now, the thing that I get, so here's the thing. When it comes to Lindsay and Scott, I get both sides of the coin. I get why Lindsay is upset. He went through your stuff. He's reaching out to your ex and trying to figure stuff out. I get that part. But you ain't slick, Lindsay. Like that manifesto that you have, talking about you wrote from a book. Girlfriend, that's a manifesto. Stop lying to us. And then Scott, I don't really feel bad for Scott because Scott is, I think Scott knows exactly what he's getting into when it comes to Lindsay. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. And then, so yeah, it's a catch-22 with both of them. I can see both of their points of view, but neither one of them are innocent in this situation. And then we see Lindsay. So she's talking to Terabelle, and she's, still pissed off about Scott. And I'm just like, but Lindsay, you do realize that you are lying to him. You have a girlfriend, so you are, in a sense, using him, because your girlfriend has a trailer home. I don't know if you want to live in that and put your daughter in that kind of environment. Not judging by no means, I'm just saying. So yeah, and then Scott was talking to his friend. I'm just like, both of y'all are actually, honestly, getting on my last fucking nerves. Like, they both got on my nerves. Now, the thing that Lindsay said that I actually agree with is, what kind of money does Scott have? Now, I'm not being shady by no means, because at my grandmother's house, we have a window, but my grandmother's house is an old house. So it didn't have, so this was before, her house was built before central AC was even a thing. But I was looking at that house and I'm just like, wait a minute. Why does this house have a window unit in it? And again, like I say, no shade to anybody who has a window unit, because like I said, my grandmother's house has a window unit. But again, that house was built, actually I think my grandmother's house was built in the 70s. So it was built long before central, it was 60s or 70s. It was long before central AC came along. We could have had it put in there over the years, but the house is, our house is old. My family's house is old, so we just keep with the window unit. But that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. All right, you guys, next up, let's discuss Shawn and Destiny. Now, somebody left in my comments that Destiny is back in jail. Somebody, send me a link to that. Like, you guys can find me on Instagram, same as, my YouTube channel. It's Jbsayzwhat. like somebody DM me the info about, Miss Destiny. So Destiny is leaving the hospital. So she's saying that she was there for, 18, 19 hours. They ran tests on her. And, when she leaves, Shawn has called her. She says Shawn has called her about 68 times. I believe her. So then, we see Destiny. She goes to her sister's house, who lives in California. So, she tells her sister that she was in a hospital, and she said, she said they ran a pregnancy test on her. She says, well, were you pregnant? She says, no, I'm not pregnant. She says, what it is I have inflamed, and her intestines were inflamed. I'm like, ooh, that definitely sounds painful. Shawn, there is no easy way to say this, and I've been saying it for the last few weeks, but Shawn is a motherfucking idiot. I just don't get it. Like, dude, you are stupid. So your credit card company reached out to you talking about, there are charges in California that that you ain't done, and you know who's done it? Destiny's done it. She's taking your car and she's taking your credit card and she's running up your fucking bill. Like, you are so fucking retarded. So what happens if she maxed out your credit card? You're gonna be responsible for paying that shit back. Shawn is a dumbass. Like, I don't get it. And you got 6 fucking kids with Kelly. Kelly, I told you a few weeks ago, get all this footage that you have from WeTV. Take this footage with you and go to court. Take him to court for child support. If he got enough money to spend on Destiny, take this motherfucker to child support court. Like, I don't even, normally I don't advocate for that, but do what you got to do for you and your kids. And the fact that he had your daughter in Plato's closet, that's still, I have not gotten past that. Again, do what you got to do, because this dumbass, and then he's still on the hook for 50. I'm like, okay. Honestly, at this point, I would be so happy if Shawn lost that $50,000. Like, so then we see in another scene where, Shawn called Destiny's sister. Now, before I get there, Destiny was talking to her sister about Shawn. Destiny is still upset about the fact that, Kelly, he's talking to Kelly almost every day. They have kids. What do you expect? I mean, maybe because you don't talk to your kids, people are different from you. She's just so stupid. Talking about Kelly's number's not saved in the phone. Okay. And then she said, one time Kelly called. He said it was Hector and he was getting ready to call Hector back. But she took the phone from him and called it, and it was Kelly. They got kids. What do you want the woman to do? Let's move on, because she gets on my nerves, honestly. And then, like I said, so Shawn called Destiny's sister, asking her, has she saw Destiny? She lied for her sister and said, nope, haven't saw her, haven't heard from her. I'm like, you're a good sister. Good sister. Now, he, however, wanted to go out there, and she was like, oh, no, I don't, because I want to know where she hangs out at. Shawn is such an idiot. Like I said, I really, truly hope he loses that $50,000. That's all I got to say about that one. And let's move on. All right, you guys. Next up is Chevelle and Quaylin. It wasn't much with these two. It was like a quick thing with them. But, again, the thing that bothers me with Chevelle, and it's her and her mama. Her mama. I noticed that her top lip, she don't have a top lip. She doesn't have a top lip, but she, her bottom lip is full. And she puts that gold on there. I'm like, that gold accents the fact that your top lip is thin, right? Like, your top lip is thin. Like, that's how her top lip is. That's how her lips are. But I just really want her to get rid of that gold. I don't know who told her that gold was her color. It ain't. Whoever sold it to her in the store, they ass beat. So, her mama's telling her not to take Quaylin back. And they talking about him cheating on her. I mean, what did she expect? She was forewarned by her cousin who came over. And then with the cousin, we actually found out that her cousin was in prison, and he's done the same thing that Quaylin has done. Do I think that Quaylin is a bad guy? No, I just think that the man went to jail as a kid and he came out and he's still a kid. Not physically, but mentally and emotionally, he's still that teenage boy that he went in. And I don't know why Chevelle had all these high expectations of him once he got out of prison. Yes, he said it to her when he was in prison, but she should have been like, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but let's wait until you get out of jail. And then, once you get out, let's take things slow and let's see how things progress and then go from there. But nope, she comes out of jail. She's ready to get married. She's buying him a car. She's doing this. She's doing that. Looking retarded. And I don't like using that word, but she looks so slow. But let's move on. All right, you guys. And then next up to the couple that annoys me the most, Sarah and Michael. So we find out that Sarah and Michael are getting ready for court. And I was like, what are they going to court for? So Sarah goes over to the hotel room where Michael is. And the reason that they're going to court is for custody of the girls. We all know that Sarah wants full custody of the girls. And we all know Michael wants 50-50 custody. Sarah. Black scent Sarah. Ma'am, as much as you get on my nerves, don't grant that. Hell no. He does not need 50-50 custody. And then she asked him, like, where are you staying at? He says Miami. So you think that that is a good lifestyle for those girls to go from New York to Miami half of the year? He said that wouldn't happen. And she was like, Michael, that's what 50-50 means. I'm like, exactly, you dumbass. That means that part of the year Sarah will have the girls, and then part of the year you will have the girls. So I'm assuming what it would end up being is probably Sarah would have the girls for the school year, and then Michael would probably get them during the summer. And I get that Michael is their father, but I would not want him near those girls. Because, we all know Michael has this new case against him for child endangerment? And somebody said that it was old-ass Maria's son. I'm like, don't you mean her grandson? Because I don't think old-ass Maria is having kids. She could be, but I just don't see old-ass Maria having kids. But Michael is such a fucking idiot. He actually really gets on my nerves. Like, for real. You live in Miami, but you want 50-50 custody. What kind of lifestyle is that for those kids? And then you got a baby. Get the fuck out of here, Michael. They did do a little blurb with Michael talking about demon dick. Nigga, you are just a demon. That's all it is. So then we see Michael. So he goes out on a date with this woman that he said he's been friends with for about a year. Michael and these women. The thing is with Michael, I'm confused. What do these women see in him? He is an unemployed man. What y'all see in him? It's got to be the dick. Gotta be. But I can't, why would a woman want to be with a broke nigga like him? I just don't get it. I really don't. And then, he's telling this woman all his business about Sarah and him and the girls. And then, he sat there and talking about the fact that, Sarah wanted him to meet Malcolm at the baby's party. No, Michael, that is not how it happened. Sarah had been reaching out to you before the party because she wanted you to meet Malcolm prior to the party. You were ignoring her phone calls. That's what happened, Michael. Stop with the bullshit. I just can't stand Michael. Really can't. Let us move on from this fool. All right, you guys, and then let's close the episode out with Andrea and Lamar. Now, I didn't think about this in last week's episode. And then I thought, after last week's episode, I was like, wait a minute. How was Andrea in the middle of coronavirus selling houses in LA? Because I actually have a friend that lives in LA, and he's a realtor. And when the pandemic hit, he was not selling houses like that. Especially not in LA. He is selling houses here, and he is, selling houses in Texas, but not out there in LA. So I think that's fake as fuck. So Andrea calls Lamar, and she's asking Lamar what is he doing. So Lamar tells her that he and Priscilla are going to the beach. Now he didn't tell her who they're meeting at the beach. So once he gets to the beach, we find out that he's meeting his daughter Priscilla, Shantae. And looking at the girl, I understood last week. I wasn't thinking in last week's episode, but after looking at it, and her saying she may or may not come, it dawned on me. I'm like, what? The thing is with Shantae and Priscilla, Yes, Lamar was in prison when I don't know, my neighbors are so loud that up above me, like it's just a thumping, and I don't know what they're doing. But the thing with Priscilla and Shantae is, yes, Lamar was in prison from when both of them were born, but Shantae never got to experience what Priscilla is getting to experience. Priscilla is still young, and Priscilla has her dad in her life, whereas Shantae grew up without Lamar present in her life. Only thing she had was a photo of him. So I got it. So then, we do see, she and her sister, they interacted with each other. And it was nice and sweet to see them, interact with one another. Now, Andrea got to get over whatever she feels. Like, I don't know if she just feels some type of way about him having a family before her. You had a family before him. Tennyson and Nala. Pot, meat, kettle. I don't get it. It sounds like someone is hammering. This is for sure gonna be my last year in an apartment. All right, so next let's talk about Andrea and Tennyson. So we see Andrea and Tennyson, and they go meet this guy to talk about Tennyson's mission that he does not want to go on. And I was looking at Andrea, and I was thinking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And they talk about how what a perfect Mormon is. A perfect Mormon doesn't drink, doesn't swear, doesn't do a lot of things that Andrea has done. And I'm just like, wow, you are not the perfect Mormon. So you might want to, I would leave that religion, because you're not a perfect Mormon. And I still don't understand how she's in a religion that didn't accept black people. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then, Andrea was talking about the fact, well, Tennyson said that, he's worried about leaving the family because, Andrea and Lamar argue with one another. So then Andrea got in her feelings about the fact that she's talking about, I didn't raise you like this. You are not going to embarrass me in front of these people. I was just thinking to myself, are you serious? He's not going to embarrass you in front of these people. But you told us you come on this show, you act a fool. And then you told us on this show that you had sex in a broom closet and got pregnant. I think you've done a bang-up job of embarrassing your own damn self. Just putting it out there. But you guys, that is going to wrap it up for me with this episode review. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. And share this video. And until the next one, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. And socially distance. And I'll see you guys later.